So I had to make a quick decision. Do I want to go to North Korea on a one-way ticket? And the thought entered my mind, is that a good idea? The flight lasted about 2.5 hours, and I was chatting to the guy next to me. He seemed to be working for UNICEF. I had a little sleep, and seatbelts came on, and we descended into Pyongyang. Most of the incidents that happened with North Korean Airlines Air Koryo happened on landing, so I was kind of alert, but it was fine. We landed and we swung round, and the airport, it was a very grey, cloudy morning. And North Korea, I mean, I've been to Russia and some of the Eastern Bloc states, and it reminded me of that, but even more extreme. Foggy, old-fashioned, and the first thing that happened was awesome. I love to make films, of course, and the door opened and we sort of, were channeled out of the plane. And the first thing I saw were around 8 guys and girls with these awesome big cameras from the 50s with tape inside them. It was amazing. And I came down the steps, I think I was almost first, and I had no idea what to expect, who was meeting me, where I was staying. There was no information given. So I'm just, here I am. And we were sort of ushered into a group by the side of the plane. And I'll never forget, the Bollywood dance troupe were so excited about coming to North Korea. They're doing this sort of Bollywood movements down I should have filmed it, it was very funny. And a very short lady of about 25 years old, very, very friendly, said, Mr. Carter, you are Jason. I said, I am. She said, I'm your translator. I said, oh, nice to meet you. So they took me through customs and they checked my laptop for satellite emitting devices or whatever. I had 2 phones and they were confiscated. They were left at the airport in a safety deposit box, so I couldn't call anybody. And we were met by a driver in a big old Russian Volga car. Now, I've been in one of these cars once in Russia, and they're awesome. It's like being in a boat. They're in like limousines. They're really big, but the suspension is dodgy. So you sort of drift around corners like you're in an old rowing boat. It's very funny. I was transfixed by the sights that I saw. They were trying to distract me from looking, to be honest. So I had a guide who was a policeman and my translator and a driver. They were sitting with me in the back of the car. And I was just, I'm curious, I was excited, I wanted to see this country. And what I saw were people in fields pulling ploughs manually. So there were like long chains of men and women, looking very thin, pulling ploughs through fields, and then run-down buildings with smashed glass and no windows, and everything was grey and grey and grey. They were trying to distract me and trying to tell me about my trip, but I was like, wow, this is interesting. So they were giving me the program of my trip, kind of the rough outline in the car. So I got to my hotel, the Pyongyang Hotel, and there are 3 hotels in Pyongyang. One is the Pyongyang Hotel. There's one on an island where foreigners normally stay so they can monitor them, and the oldest hotel, which is a big one in the center. This one was full of North Koreans. I was the only foreigner in the hotel. Very welcoming. A bit musty. Everything was a bit musty, a bit damp, unlived in, uncared for, to be honest. But very friendly. I checked in, and to be honest, the first thing I wanted to do was have a look around. I was like, in North Korea, for goodness sake. So I got to my room, I unpacked a little bit, had a bit of a wash, and thought, I'm going out. I had not been told otherwise that I couldn't do that, so I just came down in the lift and walked out the door without thinking about it. I had my camera. I got maybe 20 meters down the street towards the children's playground. I saw a bunch of children playing unaccompanied without adults. And suddenly 2 men arrived at each side and took my arm friendly but forcefully and said, Mr. Carter, you can't go outside the hotel. I said, why not? Well, because you might get lost and no one speaks English and you might never come back. I said, come on. I said, you're joking, right? I mean, I'm an adult. I know where I'm going. I can see where the hotel is. He said, no, I'm sorry. And that was a kind of more of a squeeze. Please come back to the hotel. I thought, great. 10 days or 12 days like this. I thought, that's not good.